Hi everyone, welcome back to Faith in Flour. If you're new here, my name is Robin. Today's video is all about homemaking inspiration, cleaning motivation. So if that's something you're interested in, then this video is for you. And before we get started, I'm going to show you my little grocery haul from Trader Joe's. I love shopping at Trader Joe's, and I went there on my way home from an appointment this morning and picked up some things that we use kind of on a regular basis, things that I like to keep on hand. I stocked up on a few things, so I'm gonna show you that quickly and then we'll get into the rest of the video. So this is everything that I got laid out on our kitchen island, and I'll start down here with the cold items and the produce. So these are their mandarin oranges. We love mandarin oranges, and it's probably getting towards the end of the season, so if these aren't really good, then I probably won't be buying anymore, but they seem really nice and firm and juicy, so hopefully they are. And then these are the organic Pink Lady apples. These are Peyton's favorite. He loves to take an apple every day for lunch. Of course, the rest of us do too, and if you've never tried that variety, Pink Lady is so good. They're just like the perfect apple in my opinion. They're crisp and a little bit tart and sweet, so good. So definitely try those if you can. And I got some Idaho potatoes because I want to try French fries in our air fryer. So I'm gonna give that a try this week with those. I got some organic baby spinach. I love making salads with this, and I got some strawberries. They're over here because they're really good together in a salad. And I don't normally buy a lot of berries or grapes or things like that from Trader Joe's because sometimes they're more expensive. But these looked really good today, and they were close to the same price as my regular grocery store, so for convenience sake, I picked up those. I got some of these mini pearl grape tomatoes. I think these are the best store-bought tomatoes. I never buy regular size tomatoes at the grocery store anymore because they may look good, but they are always super disappointing when it comes to their flavor and texture. But usually the grape tomatoes or cherry tomatoes are good. These are some zucchini, and again, I'm gonna try these in the air fryer. I told you guys in my last video when I showed you my new sort of air fryer, toaster, dehydrator, all in one from Ninja, that I really wanted to try some different things in there. And I love fried zucchini. My whole family does, so I'm gonna try that. I think that would be a healthier way to do it. And let's see what else. I've got organic romaine hearts, of course, for salads. And then this is my favorite ice cream that is non-dairy. So this is soy creamy vanilla. This is really good. Everybody else in my family isn't lactose free, so they have regular ice cream, and Trader Joe's actually makes a really good vanilla ice cream that we buy sometimes too, but we already have some, so I just got that for myself. And then this almond milk I really like from Trader Joe's too. It's really good. I like their unsweetened one, not the vanilla. To me, this is the best, like on cereal and smoothies, things like that. And this is their pasture-raised eggs. These are really good. And again, for pasture-raised eggs, this is a better price than my regular grocery store. They've been really good quality, so I got 2 of those because we don't go to Trader Joe's all that often, maybe every 2 weeks or so. It's not that close to our house. And I love their pre-shredded cheeses. This shredded mozzarella is so good, melted on things like pizza and stuff. It melts much better than the other one that I get at my H-E-B, my local grocery store. I don't think it has like the cellulose in it, you know, that they use to keep it from caking up or sticking together, so it melts much better. I think it's just a higher quality cheese. And same for this Swiss cheese and grated Gruyere cheese. This is the best in a quiche, and I use it for lots of other things too. It's just really, really good. Or in a grilled cheese sandwich, so, so good. We got some of their smoked salmon. This is a sockeye salmon. This is a little bit pricey, but it's, to be honest, pricey everywhere. But it's pretty good amount. It's 4 ounces, and that's enough for 3 or 4 of us to have on a piece of toast for lunch or something like that. And we just sprinkle some lemon and pepper over top. This is really good. And then I got some Italian sausage, and this one's made with pork. I actually wanted one that was made with turkey, but I didn't find that at my local grocery store, and I wasn't able to find it at Trader Joe's either. But I'm going to use this in a new recipe that I'm trying, and I'll be showing you guys that later. But I'll remove it from the casings and make like a pork ragu with it. So that will be something that we're trying, and I'll let you know what we think about that. I also picked up one of the grass-fed ground beef, and I like getting this from Trader Joe's. It's a better price than my regular grocery store, and it's frozen, and it's just doesn't take up much space in the freezer the way they package it. I kind of like that, but for grass-fed beef, it's a pretty good price. I got two new things to try, and these are things that I normally never get at Trader Joe's because usually we eat gluten-free and soy-free as well for one of my sons that has celiac disease, but he's away at lunchtime, 4 days a week. So Patrick and I eat lunch here at home, and I thought it would be fun for us to have something, a little treat once in a while. And I've heard a lot about these mandarin orange chicken. I think we even tried it once a long time ago when they used to give samples at Trader Joe's. It's really good, and it's something else that I can try in the air fryer. So I'm gonna try that coming up soon. And also this barbecue chicken teriyaki looked really good. I can make some rice in the Instant Pot and have a quick and easy lunch. That'll be a treat. I love to get nuts at Trader Joe's. They have the best prices on the nuts, and they're always really fresh and good. I got some pecan pieces. This we use in our granola, and I use it in baking. And then the mixed nuts are for snacks. I like that they have this like reduced salted ones, I think, or actually maybe I didn't pick that up this time. I meant to. Oh well. Sometimes they have this in a like 50% less salt version, and I think I picked up the wrong ones. Oh well, next time that's what I would get. And then this is the coffee that I really like in the morning. This is their organic fair trade wake up blend. And it's quite a large one. It's a pound of coffee, and I'll have the prices below in case you guys are interested. It seems like a lot of money, but I like that it's fair trade, and this is just a really good high quality coffee. Cereals at Trader Joe's are also something that we really like. I just feel like the quality of their cereals are a little bit better at Trader Joe's, and we like these quite a lot. So this is not gluten-free. Peyton doesn't eat this, but the rest of us do. And then I got a couple different of their granola bars. And again, these are not something that Peyton can have because they're not gluten or soy free, but I have some already for him. And so I didn't pick up any of their gluten-free ones this time. But this Simply Nutty bars, the dark chocolate nuts and sea salt bar, those are really good. And I also like, if I'm in the mood for a sweeter snack, this dark chocolate walnut peanut fig and date bar. Really good. They've got a little bit of chocolate, and with the nuts and everything, it's just a really yummy treat, and they're something easy to take on the go. And if we're going on the RV, they're a good snack to have on hand. We got some of the garlic flatbread. This is naan bread. I was looking for it on the package and it doesn't actually say naan bread. That's funny. It says Indian style flatbread, but it's naan, and it does have a little bit of garlic in it. And this is what I love to use for our pizza crust. And again, this isn't gluten-free. I have separate crust that I use for Peyton, and I keep that on hand all the time. But Trader Joe's doesn't anymore carry a gluten-free pizza crust. They used to, and I wish they would bring it back because I really like to get it there. But what they do have is this gluten-free brioche bread, and this is Peyton's favorite. This is really good. He really enjoys it. And so he uses this for sandwiches, toast, make French bread with it, anything that he would use bread for, this is perfect for that. And I usually pick one up when I'm there, and if I have room in the freezer, I'll just go ahead and freeze it. It stays really nice in the freezer. And then we got some organic corn chip dippers. These are just like the Fritos, and I feel like the ingredients probably are just a little bit better because they're organic. And these are really good for, any kind of dip or salsa or anything, but especially with chili. That's what I really like to use these with. I also got one of these last time and it was really good, so I picked up another one. I think it's fairly new at Trader Joe's. It's their bolognese sauce. And as I said, we don't eat soy, and this one does not have soy. So most of the, pre-made pasta sauces and things will use soybean oil, and this one doesn't. So that's why I tried it the first time, and then we found we really liked it. And I got some cut beets. These are really, really good in salads, so we like those. I also like to buy my tuna at Trader Joe's. This is the skipjack tuna, and it's supposed to be dolphin safe and not a bad price. So I always get some of that when I'm there because we usually have tuna sandwiches or something, once a week or so. And I also usually like to have these on hand. These are their green chilies. I use these in a lot of Mexican recipes. They're like the perfect portion for most recipes. And because they're canned, they are shelf stable for a long time. I also picked up a couple more of the artichoke hearts. I have a couple recipes that I like to use these in. I also have a really good artichoke dip recipe that I was thinking about making again soon. And so I wanted to have some of that. Also, of course, black beans, and I use a lot of dried black beans, but it's nice to have cans on hand if you want to make something quick. So I like to make sure when I go, I pick up a couple of those. And same thing for their mayonnaise. I love Trader Joe's mayonnaise because they don't use, let me turn this around, they do not use soybean oil. And again, that's something that is so hard to find. They use canola oil. So I usually try to keep several of those on the shelf so that I don't have to worry about it if we run out, because Trader Joe's currently is the only place where I can get reasonably priced mayonnaise that doesn't have soybean oil. And I'm trying this for the first time. This is different than what they usually have for spicy brown mustard at Trader Joe's. So I'm hoping that this is going to be as good as the one that they usually have. This one is organic, but they didn't even have the other one on the shelf. I like that it's organic. I'm just hoping that it's like the regular one because that's really good. And I got coconut oil because we use this a lot for cooking and baking. And some honey. And again, at Trader Joe's, I was kind of out of luck on a few things this time. So I like one that's a local honey that we can get at our Trader Joe's. It's called Round Rock honey. It's a local honey and it's unfiltered and all of that. This one I don't think is unfiltered, but it is from the United States. So I really needed honey, so I went ahead and got that. Sun-dried tomatoes I love. My family isn't as big of a fan as I am. I would put them in so many things if they didn't mind it, but they don't mind if I use it once in a while. And I think Trader Joe's makes the best. These are in olive oil and they're just really good and also a better price than my regular grocery store. Spices are another thing that are great to get at Trader Joe's. They have some really good blends and everybody talks about this one all the time and I usually have it on hand. It's their everything but the bagel. And so this is really good on things like avocado toast. I've also found when I make my tuna salad that this is really good sprinkled in. You can use it in a ton of different things, and if you like the flavors of an everything bagel, then you'll really like that. And smoked paprika. I was happy to find this because my local grocery store has not carried smoked paprika like since the pandemic started. I don't know what that's about, but I have not been able to get my hands on smoked paprika, and I didn't even think of looking for it at Trader Joe's. But when I went to look for the everything but the bagel, it was right there, so I picked that up too. So that was it for today, and I do supplement all of this at our regular grocery store because we will run out of produce in 2 weeks' time for sure. And actually right now I didn't get many meats and things like that because our freezer is already pretty well stocked. And we also have some of Peyton's bread in the freezer, so this was just sort of a restock. So that's pretty much it for my haul today. We also have a well-stocked pantry, and I have an entire series on that. So I will have my Prepper Pantry playlist linked in the cards above and also down in the description box if you're interested in how I built and maintain that. In between the rainy days, we wanted to get outside and do a little bit of yard work, and I was trying to maintain our vegetable garden by spreading some hair that was left over from the haircuts that I gave the guys recently. This may look kind of weird, but the reason why I'm doing it, and I'm sort of anchoring it down because it's a windy day under the soil, is because we've had something like an armadillo that likes to dig for grubs and destroys the plants in the process. And they don't like the smell of human hair. It works really great if you have a pet as well. I've done this with Austin's fur when we've brushed him. And so periodically I do this, and it really works to keep them away. The rain clouds were gathering again, so we got everybody together and decided to divide and conquer. So Patrick's in the front yard mowing the grass, and Peyton was in the backyard raking leaves. And after I finished in the vegetable garden, I had some transplanting that I wanted to do with some of my houseplants. I have a gorgeous aloe vera plant, which has turned into about 4 aloe vera plants, and they are packed really tightly in this tiny pot, and I know they won't thrive much longer if I don't divide them. And also this Chinese money plant has not been doing really well, and 1 or 2 of you suggested that I move it to a larger pot, so I'm going to do that today. So I gathered up all of the empty flower pots I could find and tried to move this little Chinese money plant to a pot where it has a little more space to grow, and then divide up all of the aloe vera plants and put them in separate pots. And my plan is to give a few of them away to some friends who I know would enjoy them too. Last week's video, I showed you my new Ninja air fryer, and this week I've been putting it to the test as I said I would. One of the first things I wanted to try was the orange chicken from Trader Joe's that I showed you earlier. And I started to make the entire package, but when I realized that there were 2 sauce packets, I decided to put away half and save it in the freezer for later along with one of the sauce packets, and just do half today. It is 4 or 5 servings and there's just the 2 of us. So I wanted to see how it would turn out, and I just followed the instructions from the manufacturer because there were no air fry instructions on the Trader Joe package. So I just went with the default setting, which is 350 degrees for about 20 minutes, and it came out quite good. So it was probably maybe a little more done than necessary, but it wasn't burnt and it was really crispy and good. I'll show it to you after it comes out. And I just made some rice in my Instant Pot, and I really like to use brown rice, but Patrick loves jasmine rice, so I wanted to treat him today, and that's what I made in my Instant Pot, and it only takes 4 minutes. I put equal parts rice and water, just a dash of salt, set it for pressure for 4 minutes, and it's done in no time. Because it comes out perfect every single time and I don't even have to think about it, this is my favorite way to make rice. When the chicken was done, all I had to do was mix it in a bowl with the sauce and it was ready to go. This was so easy. It was a great lunch. It was like ordering takeout, but better because it's made here at home. This turned out so well, and I'm so excited to try more things in the air fryer. So as I discover new things, I will definitely share them with you. After our yummy lunch, it was time to get down to business in the laundry room, and everything is in full swing in the laundry room as far as washing clothes, sheets and towels, all of that. I did laundry the day before, so I've got things hanging to dry in here. I'm washing sheets and towels today, but it's not about doing laundry, it's about organizing the laundry room in today's video. So you may remember that I did the lower cabinets recently, but I still never got to the upper cabinets. And I have some bins from IKEA and an idea about what I want to do, but it's time to actually execute that today. So I'm going to show you what I did in here. This cabinet in the corner is the one that needs the most work. The one here is working pretty well. I've got some supplies at the top. I've got a lot of cleaning cloths and old towels for washing the dog, things like that, and all of our laundry supplies, but it could be a little bit better. So I'm going to use these baskets, especially in the right-hand cabinets where I keep most of our cleaning supplies, to categorize things and also make it easier for me to reach. It'll be easier to pull out a bin than to grab products that are in the back corner. So I'm going to start by emptying everything out. I decided to stop emptying the cabinets at this point because I ran out of counter space. So I'm going to deal with all of this before I move on to the rest of the cabinet. But those are light bulbs that I've actually sorted through before. So I know they're things that we need for our house currently, not from our previous home. I also have a box of shoe related items. There's some other things mixed in there like shoe polish and stuff. Plus some various other things. And I know I have other shoe related, products in here. So I'm gonna group those things. And then I also have some items in here that maybe belong in the garage or the bathroom or just some other place where they could be stored better. So those things are gonna get moved out. And of course, they're the expired items and the things that I know we're not using anymore. I decided to group all of the light bulbs on this top shelf. So they're all together, and that's not something that we need to get down every day. So if I need a ladder to reach it, that's not a really big deal. And I have that little box up there that has some like picture hanging supplies and stuff. So I don't need that on a regular basis either. So I can get that out of the way. And then in the bins, I'm going to group sort of like things together. So I've got hand soaps and hand sanitizers and things like that in one. I've got dish soaps and other type cleaners in another. And then one is just sort of a miscellaneous cleaner bin. And this will make it easy for me to know which one I need to reach for. And because they're in the bins in that corner cabinet, it'll be a lot easier for me to grab that and access something that's in the back. I have some furniture stain correction pins, that type of thing, that I'm just going to put in a Ziploc bag so that they won't leak in there, and I'll also know that they're in that miscellaneous box. And then I'm just going to put them back on the shelf, and as you can see, because there's a little handle too, I'll be able to grab those baskets to reach what I want, and I won't always have to bring a ladder in when I want to get something that's in the back. The two top shelves of this cabinet are nearly impossible to reach, so I'm just going to put a couple of miscellaneous items towards the front of the cabinet where I can grab them, and the rest of the space doesn't need to be used. I have one more basket, and I saved some room for it in this cabinet for things like magic erasers and a couple of backstock cleaning items that made sense to go over here. And then I'm going to take everything off this laundry shelf, clean it too, then get rid of some things that I'm not using and consolidate a little bit. I also want to arrange it in a way that makes sense. So the items that I use when I'm doing laundry every week are really accessible, and the things that I don't need to get to can go in the back. So I decided not to over edit this to give you the illusion that I knew exactly where things were going to go, because I don't. Lots of times when I'm organizing, I have to play around with things and really think about what works. So grouping things together, and then also when I'm doing laundry each week, what are the things that I need to have access to easily? Those are the things that I want to be upfront and easy to reach. I also want to consolidate a little bit better, so not have multiple items that do the same thing. For instance, I have 2 stain remover sprays. They both do the same thing, and both bottles are getting close to empty, so I'm going to pour them both into this glass spray bottle and get rid of some extra packaging. Then I just kept playing around with the arrangement until I was happy with it. I wanted it to be functional, and I also wanted it to look good. The things I was able to declutter from the laundry shelf are a couple of empty bottles that I showed you, plus a couple of products that are just about gone that I almost never use. They just sit in the back of the cabinet. And then I've got some dish soap here that is just a little bit left, so I'm going to use that up. The basket that had the shoe things in it is actually cracked, so I'm going to throw that out with this piece of trash. And then I'm going to call it a day here in the laundry room, but I'm not finished. I broke this up into a couple of days, so the next day I came back to do a little bit of deep cleaning. So if you need some deep cleaning motivation, then you came to the right place. A couple times a year, I like to pull out this dispenser drawer from my washing machine and give it a good cleaning. If you use liquid detergent and fabric softener, they build up in there, and over time there can even be mold and mildew. So I try to keep on top of that. A couple years ago, I did a video where I pulled this out and it was horrible. It was so gross, and I was able to get it pretty clean, and now it's not too bad in between cleanings, and it's not really hard to do. As a matter of fact, I just use a little bit of my disinfecting spray cleaner. You can use any kind of cleaner you like. I'll put the recipe for my DIY formula below, but I think just about anything would work as long as it loosens up the gunk. And I just am using a toothbrush to get into the little spaces, and then some warm water to rinse it. And like those little holes that I'm trying to get into, things build up in there and they're a little bit harder to clean, so I'm going to give them a little spritz of my cleaner, set it aside so that it can start breaking that down, and just go to town on this. And it doesn't take much time, just, you know, getting in all the little nooks and crannies with the toothbrush, rinsing it really good with some hot water, and then you're good to go. Then I clean inside and out the area where the drawer goes to, because it also gets really gross. Our washing machine is at least 15 years old, and it has served us so well. We've never had a problem with it, knock on wood. And I attribute that to the fact that it has a cleaning cycle, and it reminds me about every 30 days to run a cleaning cycle. And so I either put vinegar or bleach in the dispenser and let it do its thing, and that really cleans the gaskets, and even this area, you know, gets washed out pretty well. But over time, buildup still happens. So I think doing this on a regular basis helps to maintain my washing machine and really keep it performing its best. So I think it's really worthwhile doing. Front load washing machines are notorious for having those kind of musty, gross, mildewy mold smells because there are so many areas where yucky stuff can build up. So I'm going to show you some of the things that I do to prevent that from happening, and I've never really had a problem with it. I do have some stains, as you can see in here, that no matter how much I scrub, they still look a little bit gross, but I promise you it's clean. And now is the perfect time to run one of those cleaning cycles to really flush everything out and freshen everything up. I just finished a load of laundry, so now is a good time for me to clean the inside of my washing machine. So I'm gonna wipe down the door, I'm gonna clean some of the outside areas where dirt builds up, and I'm also going to get inside this gasket and make sure there's no yucky buildup in there too. If your washing machine does have a bad odor, this is probably where it's coming from. So keeping this clean will really go a long way in helping to prevent that. And in the process, you might discover some long lost socks. I know I have. My washing machine has a seam right here at the bottom, and there's so much dirt that gets trapped in there. So I just put a little of my spray cleaner on there and get at that with a toothbrush, and it takes almost no time to get rid of it all. Once the dirt is loosened up, I just remove it with a damp microfiber cloth and rinse it periodically when it needs it. And then I just keep cleaning all of the areas around the gasket, and then I'm gonna actually go inside the gasket and clean that space in there. Onto the dryer. So we all know that the lint filter needs to be cleaned regularly, so I'm going to use my vacuum cleaner with that sort of wedge attachment to get as deep as I can in there, and I'm also going to clean the filter itself. Then with a damp microfiber cloth, I'm just going to clean it the same way I did the washing machine, all around the door, inside and out. It's also a good idea to inspect the inside of your washer and dryer in the actual drum to see if there's anything that was left behind. Perhaps your kid had a pack of gum in his pocket. That's happened to me before. And if there's anything sticky left behind, you definitely want to remove it so you don't ruin any clothes. I checked ours out and everything was fine, so I'm going to skip that step today. Now I'm just going to wipe down the outside of the washer and dryer in all the areas that I can reach, just to remove any smudges or smears and all of the lint that accumulates from the dryer. Now to get under the washer and dryer, I'm using this cleaning and dusting wand from eCloth. It really helps me pull out all of the lint and other debris that gets caught under there. And then I just use my vacuum cleaner to clean it off until I've gathered it all and gotten rid of it all.
Yesterday there was sun.
The only thing left to do is to clean off the countertop and everything on it.
And a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within. Oh, dreamy, breezy we go, easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all. Hand in hand, building castles out of sand, reaching for the grand. As willows align, we lose track of time. Head up high, now we climb. Oh, dreamy, breezy we go, easy, easy.
I just have to say, my family is so grateful that I do their laundry. They even leave me tips sometimes.
Of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all. A bigger scale, the world inhales as we go. I wouldn't want it any other way, no. Dreamy, breezy we go, easy, easy on our tiptoes.
Now for a quick tour of my organized laundry room.
Agents of the other.
To make this more manageable, I broke up the organization of our laundry room into some bite-sized chunks. It didn't take a lot of time, and I organized the lower cabinets several weeks back. So I've got my cleaning supplies that I use regularly front and center under the sink, and then some lesser used items go in this corner cabinet. I've got some backstock laundry supplies, all of my houseplant supplies, things that are rarely used are in this basket pushed in the back. That big white thing is an accessory for my dryer that is rarely used. I've got one basket for sort of emergency supplies, one for distilled water, and then I've got my vinegar for cleaning in the front because it doesn't fit in the back. And then in this drawer, I've got the accessories for our central vacuum, some microfiber cloths, and the bags that I use to put delicates in the wash with. And of course, these upper cabinets that I worked on today. I'm hoping that this system is going to be the solution to keeping this in better order. If you enjoyed today's video, don't leave without giving me a thumbs up. It really does help out my channel. I hope that it gave you some homemaking inspiration and some organizing and deep cleaning motivation to tackle an area of your home. And remember that you don't have to do everything all in one day. Sometimes a decluttering and cleaning project is best when it's broken down into bite-sized chunks that you can accomplish in those little moments during the day when you have the time. If you haven't already, I want to invite you to subscribe. Subscribing is easy and absolutely free. All you have to do is click on my picture. Thank you so much for spending your time with me here today. I look forward to talking with you in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, have a wonderful week.